Hi everyone, it's Kate and you're watching Cupchairs Reacts. Today we're going back to the world of big choruses and guitar solos with The Criminal Mind by KC Mobley. At least that's what I read about the song. Now KC wrote this one after going through something really heavy, a mugging that happened back in 2008, and that sounds really bad. But instead of just burying it, he turned it into music. That already tells me we're not just dealing with a flashy throwback track here. Here's some real emotion behind it. He mentioned being deep into graphic novels and vigilante stories at the time, so I'm guessing we'll hear some of that darkness, that push-pull between justice and rage. Musically, this one's influenced by the big names Dokken, Van Halen, Motley Crue, so if you're into that classic 80s metal feel, this should hit the spot. It's also a part of his debut album, Survival of the Fittest, which he recorded entirely at home over 2 years. That's the kind of dedication I always love to see personally. No more talking, let's check it out. This is The Criminal Mind by KC Mobley. That's a really cool guitar melody. Super catchy straight away. Nice production. I expected higher vocals. Sounds more like hard rock to me. Oh yeah, here comes the guitar melody again. It's definitely a highlight for me. I can hear that being a vocal melody actually. I like how vocals are mixed in general. Not being drowned by everything else. There's some high notes in there. The singing is pretty grounded. Oh yeah, give me some tom-toms. Any day. Nice and groovy. Cool guitar work too. Nice. I was waiting for a guitar solo. Not too self-indulgent. Nice hook. Definitely has a modern edge to it, with the 80s twist. So that was The Criminal Mind by KC Mobley, and I gotta say, I was into it from the first few seconds. The track runs about 4:12 and kicks off with this really cool guitar riff that immediately grabbed my ear. It's actually brought back later in the song too, which I always love. It makes the whole thing feel tighter, more complete. Production-wise, it sounds great. Everything's super crisp, the guitars have that bite, the vocals sit nice and clear in the mix, and nothing's clashing. Honestly, considering this was all recorded independently, massive props. It sounds seriously solid and nothing feels out of place. Now, KC says he's inspired by bands like Dokken and Motley, and yeah, you can hear the 80s metal DNA in there, but honestly, I thought this felt more like modern hard rock to me, at least in some places. There's a bit of that alt rock flavor too, especially in how the song flows and the way the melodies are built, so I guess it doesn't feel like it's trying to be vintage, it feels like it's taking influence and doing its own thing. Vocally, I like the approach. KC doesn't go overly dramatic or shoot way up into the high register. It's a bit more controlled and bright, but still strong. And I appreciated how clear the delivery was. I caught most of the lyrics on first listen, which doesn't always happen with rock vocals. As a singer myself, that's always a win in my book. From what I gathered, the song's talking about chaos out in the world, but also in our heads. There's frustration, confusion, and that feeling of trying to make sense of how people behave when everything's falling apart. And I think that's what makes this track stick. It's not preachy or dramatic, it's just kind of observing the mess and asking you to think about it for a second. So yeah, if you're into guitar-driven rock with a little edge, some solid storytelling, and confidence in its own style, I'd say The Criminal Mind is worth checking out. KC Mobley's got something to say, and he says it with skill. Also, there's more where that came from. Go dig in and back him up. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're Cupchairs, because we always have more loud, thoughtful, and real music coming your way. See you soon.
I've seen the world through the eyes of a man who's seen it all. He knows it's a crisis at hand. Down in the alleys where there's nowhere to run, reads mental profit just an adrenaline rush. They know that